Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening.
Good morning.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Yeah,
Good afternoon, Professor Hill.
Yeah, good afternoon.
it's so good to see you all again. It's 6 a.m. here in the UK. I'm sure for most of Europe and Africa, it's the same. So thank you so much for joining this early in the morning. So before, this is our final Cyber Leader School class, and thank you so much for actively participating until now. So before we start, I would like to ask someone to pray. So maybe Mrs. Haruko Morita, could you please give us an opening prayer? Thank you.
Okay, join me prayer. Dear Heavenly Parents and precious true parents, thank you so much for your giving us this precious opportunity. Heavenly Parents, for the year we have been studying very special guidance from Professor Gill. Heavenly Parents, each one of a step, each one of method, it's really based upon all effort through his life and all his investment all through his life and so many activities. Every parents, we so appreciate that we could receive everything what he accomplished just freely. He is handing to us kindly. Every parents, just we need to digest and we need to practice it in our daily life, especially now everyone middle of 100 days condition. Even it came to our leaders, but every one of us have responsibility as best family to achieve heavenly tribal Messiah. So really whole the year we received best method, best way to accomplish this sacred work as HTM. Through that, really we can bring back happiness and joyfulness to our true parents, and we can live together forever with heavenly parents and in the spirit world. So again, I'm so grateful for this opportunity to learn in the final lesson, and really we would like to open heart humbly and would like to really seriously study today's contents. Thank you again for this opportunity. I offer my report in my name, Takahiro Haruko Morita, who is centered blessed couple. Achu.
Drew, thank you so much, Mrs. Morita. All right. So now it's time to take attendance. And as you all know, please go ahead straight to the chat room. Please write down your name, your country or sub-region, responsibility, phone number, and email. This is really important because we are compiling the list for those who will be receiving certificates during the closing ceremony. So please make sure you take your final attendance. It's really important. Now, while the attendance is going on, I would like to introduce today's participants. First of all, we have participants here from Europe, Africa, and also Asia. So with a big round of applause, I would like for us to welcome each other, all of our Chumbo families and all of our Heavenly Tribal Messiahs. Thank you so much for joining today. I also see participants from Oceania. Thank you so much for joining on such short notice. Yes, and from the international headquarters, we have, of course, our coach, Professor Gill. So please welcome him with a round of applause. All right. And today, our interpreter is Mrs. Christina Lee Kambashi, and yeah, she is directly translating, interpreting to Professor Gill at the moment. But thank you for helping us today. We also have a new member. I don't know if you saw her already, but she is our new host. She's currently in Colombia, graduate from Sunman University. Please welcome Songhwa to our family, to our Cyber Leader School family. Thank you, Songhwa. And lastly, my name is Ami Smart, currently in England, in Manchester, and I am your Cyber Leader School coordinator. Thank you so much for bearing with me all this time and for helping me along the line. And we will see next Cyber Leader School 3. Okay, now I would like to briefly explain today's program. First, Professor Gill will be sharing a video on the core topic for today, which is DISC assessment table. Now, we sent out announcements beforehand that you all must attend with a copy of the DISC assessment table. Those who do not have, the DISC assessment table is in the Heavenly Travel Messiah book series, book 4. I think we sent out the pages beforehand. And so those who don't have a book, we requested that you print out a copy of the tables before joining today. And so that's really important because today's class is quite practical. So Professor Gill would give, like I mentioned, a short explanation through video. And then after that, we're gonna have some reflection time. We don't have any presenters today for the core topic. So without further ado, I'd like to invite Professor Gill to share his explanation on DISC assessment table. Please, let's welcome him with a round of applause.
In this class, we will study good psychological tools to aid in building relationship with the people for the success of Heavenly Travel Messiahs. True parents told us to explore the philosophy of living human beings in order to guide people. Let's read the True Parents' word together. You have to explore the philosophy of living human. Always think about how you can lead those people to me or to our group. You have to explore the philosophy of living human following True Parents. Well, today I am sharing a DISC assessment chart which examined pupils' behavior pattern. Knowing this will make it much easier for you to be successful in leading a home group or 43 family travel groups. On the DISC chart, there are 4 behavior patterns. This personality type assessment describes human behavior pattern. It is divided into 4 categories: dominance, D type; influence, I type; steadiness, S type; and compliance, C type. Look at the picture here. These pupils are showing different personality types. The DISC assessment is a great tool for identifying human behavior patterns. Understanding yourself and others better can help you maintain good relationships for successful activities and a successful life. It makes it easier for you to relate to others if you know pupils' behavior type, in particular, knowing the behavioral patterns of the family members you encounter every day can soften your relationships with them. However, this behavior type does not represent an absolute assessment of a person. Nor does it mean that the categories are superior or inferior to each other. All behavior types have strengths and weaknesses, and people can improve their type behaviors as they develop and train themselves. Okay, what do you think of when you see the following picture? You are trying to pick out the best student at an animal school. But how can fish and dog climb a tree to the top and become the best student? As for fishy, in rivers or seas, they can just show their best ability, right? How about you? Where are you? Where will you be able to obtain the best result? It is very important to aware of this, that this assessment can be a big help here. For example, the D types, which is a leading type, is a person who takes initiative in everything, overcomes obstacles, and creates an environment of himself. In order to achieve results, D-type people like a quick result, challenge, and lead other people actions. They are also manager style owner who make quick decisions to solve problems and show good leadership skill. The I type is very sociable. This is a person who can persuade others. They like to create a fun environment. They also like to meet people, entertained with their good speaking skill, and are fascinated about friendship and harmonious relationships. Another quality, I type have optimism about everything. The S type person act in pursuit of stability. In order to solve problems at work, they like to cooperate with others and make sure work operation runs smoothly. They listen to others and work well with them to solve problems. C-type pupils are prudent type. They are analytical, seek accuracy in their work, and are interested in detail. They display a critical trait in performing their job. It is a style of indirectly or preparistically approaching complex within themselves or their organization. If you get to know people through this disc analysis, you will have a very good relationships with them. Then let's find out how to do the assessment. First of all, you need to find out about yourself. Start by checking your score on the chart you have. Through learning and practicing your behavior type, you can learn how to analyze other people's behavior type. What is my personality type? The score needs to be written out under each respective column using the following format: 4, 3, 2, 1. The squash should be described like 3, 2, 1, 4, for example. Not using the same number more than once like 1, 3, 3, 4, or leaving blank like 1, 2, 3, blank. Write the total score for each line in 1, 2, 3, and 4. Total of 150. I D type, 1 D type, 2 I type, 3 S type, 4 C type. A score of 39 or more is your personality type. A score of 39 or more is your personality type. The highest score is your main personality type. The graph can be an example. When looking at the two highest scores, the first is seen as an ID type. And as in the second table, it is understood as a DC type. Let's analyze the D-type personality. The D-type person is a dominant type, goal-oriented and result-oriented. They are enthusiastic but have a tendency to dominate others. They are leaders, pioneers, explorers, mediators, problem solvers. The D types are 3% of the entire population. The weakness of D types persons are a tendency to be confrontational, controversial, and contrary. Their fears are resistance from others and being used by others. How do D-type people like to be treated? D-type people prefer that others explain problems in a simple, direct way. They like to be asked what to do rather than how to do, because they focus on outcome rather than process. In situation, they are interested in making decisions according to what the end result might be. One should speak to them based on fact rather than feelings. What are I-type people like? They are sociable and inspiring. It's fun to be around them. They are popular and usually well dressed. Yeah? They are persuasive and have a tendency to influence the other around them. They are atmosphere lived. They are fascinated, optimistic, emotional, sentimental, and impulsive. I-types are 12% of the population. Their weaknesses are a tendency to focus on popularity rather than result, missing detail and specifics, disorganization and dislike organizational frameworks. I-type like to be in front of the crowd, therefore. They are popular instructor and suitable speakers, very suitable speakers. On the other hand, they fear being rejected or excluded socially. How do I-type people like to be treated? I-type people like when others support their ideas and feelings, give them the opportunity to talk, and acknowledge their achievement. They like to share their ideas and experience with others. I-type people love it when they are given chance to influence or motivate others, and people respond to them in a likewise kind and cheerful manner. What are S-type people like? S-type are stable type. They are good listeners, team players, executors, and collaborators. They are warm, understanding, patient, trustworthy, and loyal to the organization. This kind of people do not easily live in organization of which they have been a long-time member. Some weaknesses of S-types are the following: dislike change, unclear priorities, and a strong desire for self-ownership. They fear losing stability the most. 69% of the population are S-type. How do X-type people like to be treated? They like it when others show genuine interest in them as human beings. When others express appreciation generously, when others answer questions on how, when their roles are clearly defined, and when others present ideas, change, and feedback in a kind, sensitive manner. When are C-type people like? The C-type are discreet. They are serious-minded people. They are researchers, organizers, and advisors. They think very deeply about things and like information and think to be accurate. They are systematic. They are very systematic and have high standard. The weakness of C-types are getting catch up and detail too much and missing big picture. They can be critical with the tendency to find out the shortcomings of others. C-type people fear criticism about their work or a part. How do C-type people like to be treated? C-type people like to receive accurate information for understanding things. They also like others to patiently listen when they attempt to explain things. They like it when people agree with their opinion fact, based on fact rather than feelings. They are independent people and like to be give their own space. Okay, please, we have a meeting. This is meeting style. So, what do you learn through this process? What are the characteristics that represent you? What are the strengths and weakness of your behaviors? write down all the behavior type of your home group members. What are some of the behaviors you have that you think may affect inconvenience the home? What can you do to make a great contribution to the home? Who is the most difficult person to deal with? How will you treat them in order to create an excellent trinity or become a heavenly travel messiahs? With this content, it is up to you now to decide how you will develop your strength, weakness, or change any uncomfortable characteristic you may have in a way that will benefit you and your home group. Okay, I have shared this assessment method with you. Which type do you belong to, and when does your work efficiently improve? We shouldn't finish this with just an analysis. After applying this, you need to have a meeting. In the next chapter, you should take some time to think how you will treat others. After checking the DISC assessment at the home group meeting, to evaluate yourself. Thank you. Thank you very much for your lesson. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the video, Professor Gill. Can we please give him a round of applause? All right, so like I mentioned, we don't have any presenters for today. So I would like to pass the microphone back to Professor Gill to go ahead with the reflection time and maybe a Q&A session as well.
Okay, first I have a question. David O. David O. Okay, what did you learn throughout this class?
I learned that my wife and I are totally different. And I think we complement each other quite well. I think it's fairly clear, just from a personal perspective, which group we are in, but that there is some overlap, and not 100% one category, but we have perhaps qualities from different categories. But I really like the opening slides and statements, that this method is very clear and very good, but we have to be a little bit cautious in how we interpret it. But the actual method itself is very specific, very precise, and extremely helpful. We need to be clear about our personality type. Also, I felt in the Trinity systems that we have in our particular situation, it's very helpful to identify the characteristics of the people that we are working with in a very positive, constructive way, because we have people who are quite different, but we can look at them in a very positive light. They are different from us, but we can work together constructively with this kind of approach. So I think it's very, very clear, very, very helpful, and I would say that the word that comes to me is very constructive and forward-looking, very constructive and looking forward and helping with development of the work that we're doing. So I really appreciate it very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, Reverend Jimmy Coffle.
Also,
Yeah.
one more thing. Sorry, Professor Gill and Amy, your English pronunciation, Professor Gill, your English is excellent. Your English is very, very good. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
I'm very sorry. Okay, I can just translate it. Thank you. Reverend Jimmy.
Yes. Good afternoon, our Professor Hill, and to our elders, leaders, and brothers and sisters from all over the world. First of all, we would like to thank you, Professor Hill, for so being patient to each every one of us, guiding us, and how we have to educating us on how we can be successful as Heavenly Tribal Messiah, especially guiding us on this book, very important book, which we have, the Managing and Caring for Your Heavenly Tribe, and is already the conclusion of this fourth book. And I'm so happy again that it reminds us about the behavioral analysis of each everyone, because we all know that we are all unique and we have different personality. And so the very purpose of this meeting, and how are we going to relate with one another, so that in that way, the main objective and the purpose of our discovering the relationship, exploring the philosophy, the uniqueness of everyone, and how are we going to deal, because this is what our beloved True Mother was always explaining to us, how to create a heavenly community. And with different personalities, it's not that easy. But when we come to learn about the different personality of everyone and how to deal with them, the strong point and the weak point, then somehow at least we can harmonize, and it's more easy for us to establish this kind of artistic relationship with one another. So thank you very much again, Professor Hill, for this guidance, and truly it helped us so much, especially in guiding our blessed family. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, Murray, now you can change your hairstyle. Very beautiful. Okay, so what did you learn throughout this lesson?
Thank you, Professor Gill. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Yes, thank you so much. I have learned greatly, especially this. Actually, the whole HTM course, um, but it's very systematic and transformational. Um, Especially the behavior, the test of our personality and our behavior, understanding the characteristics of our object partner. It's very important, it's really crucial, because um, in order to transform this world, in order to live in peace, and even in our working environment and in our heavenly tribal messiah area, it's all about the relationship. And I believe that in the kingdom of heaven, it's all about the world of heart, and it's moving the heart, touching the heart of your object partner. And without understanding why people behave the way they do, and without thinking that, okay, they behave this certain way, and if we lack the understanding, we misjudge them, we think that they're bad. But actually, when having this framework, having this way of detailed understanding the different characteristics, it greatly helps, because now we have the kind of bird's eye view, the framework to understand why people behave certain way. And then we have the guide how to move their hearts, and how what makes them happy, and how we can work together harmoniously. So I want to thank Professor Gill for putting this together, and it's such really helpful. And for me now, I can when I look at my husband, when I look at my children, and when I look at the people that I work with, and it's so difficult to work with in this framework, I can move forward happily and try hard to move their hearts. Thank you.
Ah, okay, I see. So, Mori, who is the most difficult person in your group or in your community? Please.
Who? Um, I I feel, I mean, I don't want to drop names. I don't want to drop names,
Yeah. Okay.
but
Okay. Okay.
but it is usually the people that I feel like who has uh, the same personality as me, and the people who has the same personality, it's like we clash, and so um, understanding this to me it's very crucial, because otherwise, it's there's no way to move forward. Yeah. And now, even now, as I look at the scores, and the D, the I, and the S, and the C, I have this image of this person in my mind. And to me it's really healing to it's comforting, and it's healing. It's I find it very hopeful. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Is there Reverend Yutaka, a leader of Australia? 레브론 유타카 목사님 들어오셨습니까 혹시?
네네네.
네.
안녕하십니까?
소감 좀 얘기해 주세요. 이것에 대해서.
네. Thank you very much, Professor Kill, for really many education. So I think this test, because in order to make a team or doing something, very important things is to understand another person and even understand myself, because sometimes it's really difficult to understand myself. That's why also difficult to cooperate with others, and really easy to work only the person who want to work or cross character. That's why through this kind of test, we can see really what's the different point and what kind of good point. So this is really big help to organize the home group team, and really even the making the leadership side. So I really appreciate this program, and to really apply for our group. Yeah, really thank you very much, Professor Gill. I'm really happy to join in this education group. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. 고맙습니다. 여기 줄리우스 우리 대립사님 계신 것 같은데. Please come on, Julius, Reverend Julius.
Yes, Professor Kale. Yeah, good to see
Yeah.
you. Yeah, thank you very much, Professor Kale, and for really your investment guiding all our blessed families, our HTM, Chonbo families. Actually, when I still remember when Professor Kale came to Philippines and we conducted this behavioral analysis, the DIS analysis, and it was exciting for many of our leaders that time to discover its characteristics and how we should cope up with one another. And actually, it's very true when we start analyzing the result of the test, and then it really conforms with most of us. And at the same time, somehow we just laugh about it because we realize many things, especially since in this class, Professor Gill always emphasized about the elements of, in the home group, that 3-cycle report meeting. And then Professor Gill explained to us the value of building relationships. And building relationships starts with understanding who we are and also understanding our members in the home group. So that is why this kind of test will help us to be more understanding, and at the same time to open up who we are also to others, because sometimes we try to project somebody else, but that's not our real personality. But later on, in terms of a more stable relationship with our home group members, very important is to be sincere with one another. And so that is why that part comes out. The more we reveal who we are, and then the more our members also reveal who they are, then the more we understand each other, the more we try to adjust with one another. And then that, I think, is really substantially building channel group, starting from our home group. And that's the purpose of the training that Professor Hill is helping us in our family, in our tribe, in our home group, so that this is practicing how to live in kingdom of heaven. So I know that Professor Hill always teaching us like our goal in our tribe is to practice living in the kingdom of heaven within our tribe. And so it starts with building that culture of heart, that culture of good relationship. And it starts with understanding and coping up, growing together, you know. You don't isolate somebody because you don't like this person, but it's like developing and growing up together. So that's the beauty of tribe in our HTM. So thank you, Professor Kill, for reminding us again about this behavioral analysis. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your great word. Yeah. 고맙습니다. 너무 고맙습니다.
네, 감사합니다.
네. 그러면은 여러분 정말 수고 많이 하셨어요. 통역해 주세요.
Thank you very much. You really worked very hard.
여러분들의 졸업식에는 윤 본부장이 참석할 것입니다.
For your graduation ceremony, Dr. Yoon, the General Director, will participate.
참어머님께서도 많은 관심을 갖고 계십니다.
Your mother also has a lot of interest in this education program.
한국에서는 목사님들에게 43가정을 하라고 아주 어머님은 당부하고 계십니다.
In Korea, True Mother really emphasized the accomplishment of 43 couples blessing.
사실 그 43가정을 정착하는 거는 절대 쉬운 일이 아닙니다.
It's not so easy to accomplish and settle finding 43 families.
심지어는 어저께 우리가 참 축성회를 갖고 그랬는데 어머님이 마음이 상당히 아프셨어요.
Yesterday we had a victory celebration, but True Mother really felt pain in her heart.
한국 목사님 중에서는 이것을 위해서 자기 집도 판 사람이 있고 차도 판 사람이 있고 이 소리를 들으시고 마음이 상당히 아프셨던 것 같아요.
Some Korean pastors sold their house, sold their car in order for them to accomplish this goal. And when True Mother heard the report, and it really pained her, made her feel painful.
그래서 어머님께서는 정말로 이 한국 목회자들이 43가정을 참 가족처럼 만들어서 첨보 가정교회를 만들기를 원하고 계십니다.
So True Mother really wishes that all Korean pastors can fulfill this 43 blessing and make them a true family, and so that they can build Chombo family church.
적어도 43가정을 패밀리로 만들기 위해서는요. 정말 그 종종 메시아 첨보 가정은 많은 수행과 고통과 어려움과 인내를 해야 될 것입니다.
In order for all of us to become a Chombo family, to accomplish this blessing of 43 families, we have to go through a lot of pain, patience, difficulties, and self-discipline.
그래서 여러분과 함께 지금 공부하는 것은 결국은 포커스가 소그룹, 홈그룹, 43그룹 홈그룹에 이렇게 맞춰졌는 그런 공부를 했습니다.
So we have studied to build home group and building 43 families internally.
아마 그러나 우리가 듣긴 들었지만은 이걸 실천하려고 하면 또 많은 시간과 인내와 노력이 필요할 겁니다.
We have studied together and you've heard about this, but in order for us to actually practice it, it takes time, patience, and a lot of effort.
그래서 저는 여기 참석하신 분들 중에 특별히 리더들, 또 대리회장님들 또는 지부장님들이나 이런 분들한테 부탁하고 싶은 말이 있습니다.
So I'd like to ask a special request to among all the participants, especially for the leaders, the continental directors and regional directors. I have a special request to you.
이 교육이 교육으로 끝나서는 안 되고 이 교육이 계속 follow 또는 피드백이 있어가지고 이것을 실천할 수 있도록 저희들이 도와하는 데 협조를 해 주십시오.
So my request is this education program is shouldn't just finish as just class or education, but it needs a follow-up, and we need to have feedbacks, and so members can actually practice what we've studied together.
예를 들자면은 우리가 3위기대 만들고 9명 만들고 12명 만드는 데 어려움이 있습니다. 그러면 그게 어떻게 왜 어려울까 하는 이런 것들을 우리가 알아낼 수 있어야 됩니다.
For example, to build a trinity and developing into 9 people group into 12, and there are difficulties, and you should be able to find the reason why or what causes the difficulties.
그래서 우리가 SWOT 분석 같은 걸 해서 그 팀들이나 그 나라와 그 지역을 도울 수 있어야 됩니다. 저희들이.
So in order for us to help the specific areas or countries, we need to have some assessment and analyze the issues and problems.
그래서 이런 것들을 하려면 역시 최고 리더들하고 같이 해야지 이것이 잘 되리라고 봅니다.
So in order for us to do that, we need to work together with the top leaders.
특히 남미 같은 곳에서는 정말 그 리더들이 열심히 서포트해주고 다 참석해주시고 하다 보니까 프리 스쿨, 메인 스쿨, 포스트 스쿨이 아주 잘 되고 있습니다.
For example, in South America, all the top leaders are participating and they really give a full support. So pre-CLS class and main CLS program, and then after CLS program is really well organized.
그래서 우리가 이제 4월 달에 되면은 리더 스쿨 3가 시작될 겁니다.
From April, we'll begin Leader School 3.
리더 스쿨 3의 이름은 저희가 첨보, 코칭, 리더십 이렇게 이름을 정해봤습니다.
In the Leader School 3, the name will be Chombo Coaching School. 스쿨이요. Chombo Coaching Leader School.
예. 그 이유는 뭐냐면은 어머님께서 모든 축복 가정들이 적어도 첨보 가정이 되려면은 개성을 완성해서 가성을 완성해서 중완성 완성하는 3대 축복은 완성하여야 되지 않느냐 이런 간절한 바람을 갖고 계십니다.
So True Mother has a great wishes for all of us to become Chombo family. And in order to become Chombo family, we need to accomplish 3 great blessings, which is personal, individual perfection, family perfection, and the 3rd blessing of dominion.
뭐 불교계통에서 수행이라는 거 있죠. 수행자들이 많이 있고 수행 프로그램도 많이 있습니다만은.
For example, in Buddhism, there are many different programs and a lot of people are doing self-discipline.
우리에게는요, 3위대를 만들어서 첨보 가정이 되기 위해서 정말로 많은 관계 수행이 필요합니다. 관계 수행.
And for us to build a trinity and become Chombo family, we need to do this self-discipline of building relationships.
예. 그다음에 또 이제 대화 수행, 말하는 것에 대한 수행.
And then self-discipline of communication with people.
예. 그래서 우리가 스스로 43가정을 만드는 그 길 자체가 나는 수행이라고 생각합니다.
So I believe the path to build or to find and build 43 family voluntarily is a path of self-discipline.
예, 그래서 우리가 이 첨보 코칭을 배워서 우리 아벨 족속뿐만이 아니고 우리 이웃들에게도 행복해 줄 수 있도록 도움을 줄 수 있는 그런 역할을 하기 위해서 우리가 리더스쿨 3를 할 것입니다.
So this Leader School 3 Chombo coaching program would help us not only for the able type tribe, but help others to be able to become happier and building the foundation. I guess.
그래서 한번 더 많은 분들이 참석해서 이것을 들을 수 있으면 좋겠습니다.
So I really hope many more people can join us and to study and learn this coaching
고맙습니다.
program.
여기 보니까는 그 오스트리아의 안톤 운학 목사님 들어오셨는데 목사님 소감을 좀 유럽을 대표해서 한번 해주시죠. 안톤 운학, please.
Can you please share your Reverend Anton Locke from Australia?
Yes, Anya
Please share your
Shimika.
reflection with us as a representative of Europe, please.
Yes, I would like to thank you to your this seminar, Professor Jill. It's very interesting and very important. When I could evaluate this everything and to read these 4 books, I could understand one point, that during 3 stages until 2000 years, we were followers and we didn't interesting about ourselves. But after 2000, and especially 2014, when True Mother took responsibility, we are in Chonilguk area. And we need much more to evaluate ourselves, how God gives this potential to us and to develop. That more, we are not followers. Of course, we are following True Mother, but we need to be more creators. And creators in every nation, that we should be true parents in every nation. And we need to multiply our family. And for this reason, these your books, they are very excellent. And we need to stress this between members, because many times members following structure during this formula periods. In that time was no time to think about ourselves. But now it's a God-given order to develop this God's nature and to be good example for society and this 43, not only 43, but all nations. We need to change because it's no hope, especially in East Europe, in Czech Republic. Now 30 years democracy, but this is liberal democracy. We need absolutely family democracy, and we need to develop ourselves. Yeah, that's, thank you very much, Professor.
레버런 안톤. 우리 저기 아미 선생 오늘 발표할 사람 없습니까? 발표 예정이 없나요?
네, 발표는 없습니다.
없습니까? 그러면
네.
말레이시아에서 여러분 제가 원래는 12주제를 강의할 계획을 갖고 있었습니다.
Originally, I have planned 12 different topics with this course.
네, 근데 행사가 많아서 그걸 지금 9시에 끝냈는데 우리가 해야 될 것 중에 해피데이라고 하는 그런 주제가 있었습니다. 해피데이.
There were many events, therefore we could not finish 12 topics, but we only did 9 of them. But one of the topics that we couldn't touch the title was a happy day.
여러분 책에 있었을 거예요. 해피데이라고.
I'm sure you've seen it in the textbook.
우리가 홈그룹 하면서 관계를 맺으면서 사람을 초대하는 프로그램이거든요. 아주 중요한 프로그램입니다.
This is a program to invite people through home group, and it's building relationship in the home group, which is very important.
네, 근데 최근에 말레이시아의 쿠알라룸푸르에서 아주 해피데이에 참 좋은 성과를 거두는 소식을 제가 듣고 있습니다.
And recently, I've heard a report in Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia. They have great results through this Happy Day program.
네, 그래서 일단은 그 말레이시아의 그 보고를 잠깐 들으시면서 아마 그 해피데이에 대한 중요성 같은 것들을 여러분들이 좀 그 캐치를 하셨으면 좋겠고요.
So let's listen to a report from Malaysia, and I hope you can catch the importance of the Happy Day program.
괜찮겠습니까, 여러분들?
Is that okay with you? Would that be okay?
Yes. 그럼 혹시 그 쿠알라룸푸르에 후이킴 들어오셨습니까?
Kuala Lumpur, Hui Kim, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
오케이. 미안합니다. 이거 미리 얘기를 하지 않아서
I'm
대단히
sorry,
미안합니다.
I didn't ask you ahead of time. But could you please share?
Could you please explain to happy day, your happy day?
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Good. Yes. Good morning, good evening, or good afternoon to all the leaders around the world. Yes. Thank you, Professor Gill. Yes. Regarding our Malaysia Happy Day, actually, because of this COVID-19 pandemic, then we couldn't have any kind of the physical activities. It's also including all our home group activities. So our home group, we couldn't carry on any kind of the physical activities. So that's why we come out the idea that how about we doing everything online. So actually we have this follow-up education in our home group. So we call it the home group witnessing education system. So we call it a 5 base. And this 5 base, actually we have two part of the component. So one part, it is handled by all the home groups themselves, which is all the home groups, the leaders, all the trinities, when they bring in their guests, invite them come to their home group. Not only we doing some activities like maybe fellowship, whatever, but instead we also giving them a very short content. So this is what we call Happy Day. So for Malaysia here, our situation is we give them the 3 topic of Happy Days. 1, 2, 3. Happy Day 1, 2, 3. So after this guest, the new guest, when they finish this 1 through 3 lesson in their home group, then all the home group will encourage the guests go to the school to study, which is center. So our center side, we will organize a workshop for them. So at that time, the workshop, we only telling them the content regarding about very basic of the divine principle. And then after this workshop finished, then the guests, they come back to the home group again. So they have activities for them. But recently, because we couldn't have any kind of the physical activities, so we only can perform this online meeting or online gathering for the home group. And then we continue follow up the guests with the Happy Day 4, 5, 6. This is another level 2 version of the content. It is a very very practical content which they can apply and they can practice in their daily life. And then after that, the home group will encourage them again, please study more, and they also wish to learn more. Then they go to another level of the school education, which is the Divine Principle workshop. So at that time, we share to them a little bit deeper about the divine principle, especially the principle of creation, the fall of man, and a little bit knowledge about the restoration, and finally the two fathers cause. It is the 4 lesson there. And then after that, they go back to their home group again. So at that time, we nurturing them again, follow up them again, and then we also provide them a little bit of content. So this is another happy day, 7, 8, and 9. So, and there's this 7, 8, 9, it is also a very practical content, which is they feel that this, whatever they learn in this happy day, it is relevant and very connected to their life, especially the problem they are facing in their life. So they feel very useful for them, and they have a very good feedback and very good response. So after that, we carry on and continue this kind of the learning process. Yes, this is our happy day about from happy day 1 to happy day 9. Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you. 크리스턴 리 연결이 안 되고 있습니다, 지금. Yeah, thank you very much. Okay. So Bosako, please, Bosako. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yes. Hello?
Hello. Yeah.
Yes.
How do you think about this lesson?
The lesson for our school now is very wonderful because we didn't have much idea about HTM, but through the teaching of Dr. Gill, we started to understand that it's really bring us to understand ourselves and the ability to bring people through parents and to create a relationship and to educate people to understand the providence. Since we started this Sabbath school, we started to see something different because we thought we were having a tribe, it was enough to have 430 couples. But then that's not enough. We still have to educate them and to follow the teaching of Cyber Leader School, which allows us to establish, to realize the 3 blessings, and also to have educate 43 couples at the same time to multiply, educate people to know through parents. This is the only way we can fulfill our mission, we can achieve the goal of being even Trevor Messiah victor. But in our situation, it takes a bit of time because we have been hit by many challenges of coronavirus, and we have been in lockdown, no communication, no transport. And the most importantly, we deal with the people in the rural areas, not the people in the city. There we have a bit of challenge to bring them together and to have a time to visit them. So, but the teaching alone is the wonderful because it's really, we can embrace two parent teaching and we can also grow together for our own restoration and the national restoration. The one of the best teaching. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes. Okay, so do you have any questions on a happy day in Malaysia? Any question is okay.
Yeah, happy day is actually more to mobilize people and to put everything in place to really witness and let people know about true parents. So I'm happy to know the happy day. I was reading it and I found it very interesting. I don't have a question, but I want to read to understand it more.
Okay, all participants, you have a question on Happy Day. So, very special Happy Day. 해피데이에 대한 질문 아무나 해도 괜찮습니다. 처음이기 때문에.
So it's the first time, but if you have any questions regarding the Happy Day program, please feel free to ask. Anybody has any questions about Happy Day program?
Regarding Happy Day, good day, everyone. Yeah, Professor Hill. I'm Francis Lopez, Marikina. So Happy Day is the day where if we invite people, they should feel that that they are more important. Then since this we invite VIPs, then we have to really let them feel that they have in them goodness, righteousness, and within that this time, if we invite people, especially VIP, then there is a constant sharing the words of true parents to them. That is very important in order for them to feel that there is something in them, the spirituality or the divinity, the divine nature in them, that because these VIP are really, some of them, they have ego within themselves, and especially us as leaders of the church, we have to really remove our egoistic self in order to really invite VIPs, and let them, these VIPs will let them feel that they are part of God's family. So for us also, as in order to create a happy day within ourselves, then we have to do jungsong also. Within, how can I become like, to have a heart of God within me? I want to inherit the nature and character of heavenly parent. That's why I have to change, I have to repent, I have to really do total sacrifice and prayer, and then constant follow up to these people whom we are inviting with, and we have to really relate them to them and share to them and know their problems also, because the VIPs also, especially if you wanted to invite VIPs, they have their own problems also, but materially they have everything. These VIPs, they have enough. Only they know happiness, temporary happiness. But we in the church, we have to really let them know that this temporary happiness is not the vital point and what they are living for. That's why through our constant jungsong also, purification within ourselves and truthfulness within ourselves, then we can really deeply invite people, especially if we want to share to them about the life of true parents, about the life of true mother, of true father, how they really experience pain in their heart, that God also experiencing pain in his heart to gather children, to gather us, to bless us. And that, so that's why if we really fulfill these two concepts, especially the church and the happy day, physical happy day like birthdays and anniversary, but the most important is we want them to be part of our church. So me myself, it's so hard for me also to really create a better character within me, a heart of God within me. So I have to change first myself, my relationship to my wife, then to my children, because we have different personality. So I have to attune myself to the personality of the people, to my wife. First, it starts within me. So we have VIP here whom she really wanted to be educated about our church because we wanted to share directly about true parents' life, of course, our true mother also. So she is really so much concerned and curious about our church since we are the foundation of true parents, blood, sweat, and tears that we become Chonbo families. That's why I have to change myself first and do Jungsong more, even more, and do uh, the word will be the words of true parents will become the words of transformation within me and also to our VIPs whom we wanted to invite in the church. And that is a happy day for me. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. You are very great first Heavenly Travel Messiah in the world. I know. Okay, thank you very much. 야, 고맙습니다. 정말 고맙습니다. 예. 혹시 여기 데레사 아줌마인 혹시 그 맞습니까? 제가 아는 데레사 맞는지 모르겠네.
테레사 last name이 어떻게 되시나요?
맞죠? Please, Teresa? Mother Teresa, right? Yeah, give me a good.
Teresa Kittle. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I cannot see my name clearly. Thank you, Professor Gill, for reminding us again of the character evaluation. I remember doing it together with you and the members in Nepal, and truly recognizing through that why certain members are behaving in a certain way, which was very helpful for me to understand them. And I feel it is very helpful also for myself to reevaluate myself regularly in order to truly make good relationships. And now we live here in the Philippines, and everybody can speak English, which is very helpful for me in communicating. And actually, these days, I'm mostly involved with Blessed Family Department work and helping blessed couples communicate and getting to know each other. So for that also, for helping our members in that way, it is very good to know about this character evaluation. And actually, I always check the analytical tools. Yeah, I learn from, also I learn from the Oriental culture, like how they evaluate with personality also wood and earth and fire, those kind of character, and how much parents pay attention to that for their children so that they will match. So how serious they're taking is because I'm coming from the Western culture where we are not so familiar with this type of evaluation. So it is constantly a learning experience, and I'm very grateful. And also I remember so deeply the Ho'oponopono prayer that we learned from you. Yes, and we're reminded of. And that is constantly with me. Thank you, I love you, I forgive you. That is very simple prayer, but it's very important for all our relationships. So thank you very much, Professor Gill.
Thank you, thank you. I think you have no enemy for you around. No enemy. Yeah,
my husband,
yeah, thank
sorry,
you.
one more thing. My husband said to me today, thank you for always loving me, even when I'm unlovable. And I felt so grateful for this encouragement. Because people need loving the most when they are unlovable. So this is a very important point for us to keep in mind.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. 오케이. 자, 그러면 여러분들 이제 마치는 시간이기 때문에 여러분들이 그동안의 소감을 참 어머님에게 써드렸으면 고맙겠습니다.
So now this is the last session and it's time to wrap it up. And I would like to ask you to write your reflection to True Mother.
저는 이런 교육이 지속적으로 되기를 원하고 또 그렇게 돼야 된다고 믿습니다.
I believe and I would like and I believe this kind of education needs to be continued.
예, 코로나 때문에 이렇게 만나지 못하지만은 이렇게 깊게 서로 대화할 수 있는 게 얼마나 좋은 일인지 모릅니다.
How precious is it that we know even though because of COVID pandemic, we cannot meet with each other, but we can deeply, we can communicate with each other with really deeply with our heart. It's so important, right?
이 교육은요, 소리 나지도 않고 조용하게 이렇게 진행하는 겁니다. 막 큰 소리나 무슨 뭐 이벤트가 아니고 이렇게 조용하게 진행하면서 우리를 변화시킵니다.
This education type, we don't like shout out. We don't, but this is like quietly we communicate with each other. This is not like a big event that we're holding, but through this kind of education, slowly, little by little, we are changing. We're developing.
예, 그래서 여러분들 그런 마음으로 레벨 리더스쿨 3를 기대해 주시길 바라고요.
And with that kind of heart, please have good expectation and be ready for the next Cyber Leader School Level 3.
그리고 이제 레벨 3가 되면은 어떻게 해주면 좋겠다라고 하는 여러분의 솔직한 심정을 이 시간에 다 말씀해 주시면 고맙겠습니다. 참고하겠습니다.
And if you can share what you'd like us to include, or if you have any suggestions or requests for the next level 3 course, please feel free to tell us and share with us so we can include your opinions and suggestions.
조금 무리한 요구도 괜찮으니까 한번 해보십시오.
Even if it sounds like it's something might not happen, you might think, oh, it's not going to happen, but give it a try. Please tell us what you feel and what you want us to include for the level 3 Cyber Leader School.
Very happy request. It's okay. Please give me. 아프리카에서 누가 얘기했습니까? 아프리카.
Anyone from African region and continent? 가시는 분 혹시?
네,
Mrs. Angolio.
아미 한번.
That's my friend's mom.
Okay, 아미.
I'm Mrs. Angolio. Yeah.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
안녕하세요.
Gail.
Thank you.
And all our family members. For me, I think my words will not really express my sincere gratitude towards our beloved and true mother. The sacrifice she's making, and all our elder brothers and sisters for education, especially to help us to create a community of heavenly parents through this education, have learned a lot because sincerely speaking, in Africa, we didn't yet get this kind of the education, how to create the Trinity. We are just going as the families, maybe just mobilizing people and teaching them that we can get members to make our 430. And somehow it was looking like selfish. Everybody was rushing to do it, that we can get members and register Chonbo. But now I am understanding deeply, it is the restoration of each and every person to bring them to our beloved true parents, to know the path for building the kingdom of heaven. And then we should cooperate, harmonize, create a strong community. So I've been reflecting so much. And even now we are holding some seminars from the HJM people. We are educating some pastors that they can go back also to educate others. So we are trying to create a really strong bond of heart with those pastors to make them really members who understand true parents, that they can also pass the same to their communities. So for me, I think we have to remove that attitude of self-centeredness that I have to do because I need to do this. It's not external, it's a restoration of really each and every person to create such kind of true brotherly and the sisterhood, whereby we accommodate one another until we make the heavenly kingdom. So I'm really appreciating that true mother is so much concerned, and they want each and every one of us to become such great sons and daughters. So I just want to say thank you, Professor Gill, for taking all your time, investing all your heart to make us understand this, and I appreciate everything. So we'll try our best also to pass the same thing to our brothers and sisters. I am so grateful. 감사합니다.
고맙습니다.
Thank you very much.
예. 바로 지난번에 불어권 마지막 수업이 있었습니다.
And last time there was the last session in French-speaking region.
이렇게 마지막 시간에 저는 참 놀랐습니다.
And in the last session that we had, I was really surprised.
이렇게 수업을 하는데 이 자막에서 어떤 목사님이 마이크를 두고 나하고 똑같이 이 얘기를 하고 있는 거예요.
And during the class, I saw one of the pastor holding a microphone was speaking to people as I was sharing or talking.
그래서 우리 아미 선생이 이제 픽업해서 그 소감을 물어봤습니다.
So Ami saw it and she asked a reflection from the pastor.
그랬더니 놀라운 것은 제가 하는 이 비디오를 교회에다 세팅을 시켜놓고 수백 명의 사람들이 함께 듣고 있는 거였습니다.
And what surprised me was the video that I was showing. He set up like hundreds of people in the church, and they were sharing together as I was sharing on video.
거기는 종족들의 종족장도 있었고 기성교회 목사들도 앞에 잔뜩 앉아 있었습니다.
And among them, there were tribe leaders, head of each tribes, and also there were pastors of Christian churches. I mean, Christian pastors were there too.
이렇게 귀한 말씀을 우리만 들을 수 없기 때문에 교회 개방을 해서 목사님에게 똑같이 하는 걸 보고 너무 놀래고 너무나 하늘 부모님이 계신 것을 깊게 깨달았습니다.
Because they wanted to share, they believe this is such precious contents, and they couldn't just hold it for themselves. So they opened the church and they wanted to share with the other people. And I really deeply felt that Heavenly Parent has been with them, with us.
참어머님께서 성화하신 아버님의 이마에 입을 맞추시면서 느꼈던 그런 심정이 느껴질 정도로 가슴이 뜨거웠습니다.
And I really felt the heat or in my heart as if, you know, when True Father passed away, True Mother kissed on the forehead of True Father, and that much I had that the strong feeling.
어머님 나이가 자꾸 들어가시는데 지금 우리한테 뭐를 원하시고 계실까요?
True Mother is getting older day by day, and what would she want us to do? What does she want us to fulfill?
그래서 저는 많이 회개했습니다.
So I really repented myself.
예, 9회 10회까지 끌고 나가다 보니까 나도 힘이 들고 소위 말하자면은 그냥 그렇게 생각하고 끌고 나왔는데 마지막 날 그걸 듣고 제가 너무나 많이 회개를 했습니다.
You know, I've been doing this for 9-10 times over the year, and there were some challenges, and it became more routine for me. And on the last day, when I really felt how Heavenly Parent works through us, and I really repented myself.
오늘도 이 빌라모 우리 아프리카 참 간증을 들으면서 이거는 내가 하는 것이 아니고 참 어머님께서 하는 것이다 이런 생각을 하고 있습니다.
And as I was listening to the testimony of the sister from Africa, I felt this is not what I'm doing, but you know, the True Mother is truly working through me, is how I felt.
네, 오늘 지금까지 이렇게 어려움에도 참석해 주신 우리 식구님한테 정말로 감사드립니다.
I'm truly grateful to all of you, even though you have many difficulties that you have participated all along until now.
내가 이렇게 아프리카, 아시아, 호주 이런 데를 다 다녔으면 내가 얼마나 힘들었겠을까?
How hard it must be if I had to travel to Africa, to Asia, to Australia, right?
근데 이렇게 이 시간에 여러분들 보고 함께 공유할 수 있다는 게 얼마나 행복한지 모릅니다.
And I'm so happy that, you know, I can see you and I can share with you, and I'm truly happy to have this special time.
예, 고맙습니다. 오늘 여러분들이 정말 감사한 마음을 참 어머님에게 글로 써서 올려주시고 더 힘을 주시면은 앞으로 더 열심히 일을 하겠습니다. 감사합니다.
Thank you very much. Please write your reflection to True Mother and support us, and I will do my best. I promise I will do very best. Thank you very much.
IPLC 누가 또 저기 얘기하시겠다고 들어왔죠? IPLC? 사연이? IPLC 사연이?
You raised your hand. Did you want to say something, Mr. Sioni Kamayo? Right. 그 오디오 마이크가 없네요.
그렇습니까?
네, 마이크가
Okay.
없습니다.
We have some time. Don't worry. Please, come on.
Okay, Mr. Sioni Kamayo, I don't see a microphone. So, I don't know if your device is connected to a microphone, so we can't hear you.
자, 그러면 오늘 이것으로 마치겠습니다. 감사합니다. Okay, thank you very much. See you.
Thank you, everyone.
Today. Thank you.
See you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
See you on the
Bye-bye.
closing
Bye-bye.
ceremony.
감사합니다.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ah,
Thank you very
God
much.
bless you. Thank you.
Salamamnida.
Salamnida.
사랑해요.
감사합니다.
Thank you very much.
thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.